Okay, I haven't said this since I was 6, but lads, hello, this is the Irish Extra, and this is one of these crazy transfers that is literally just, it's kind of blown my brain into chunks of Weetabix. Look, don't worry, I'm going to do my predictions tomorrow morning. I'll have that out before the Manchester derby, but right now I have to jump on camera and just talk about Man City actually officially getting their paws on Marc Guehi. Lads, this man's future has been such a willy, won't-he saga for months and months and years. Virtually every top club in England have tried to sign this man at one point or another, and every single time, Guehi has wanted to come, okay? Tottenham tried to get him, was it last year for about 60 mil? Newcastle the same, and then Crystal Palace quoted even more. They wanted 70 million pounds, 75 million pounds for Guehi. Steve Powers literally quoted us saying he wants superstar money for the man. Yeah, he waits, and all he's going to get now is 20 mil off Man City for a guy whose contract expires in the summer. Look, you can say the Crystal Palace have played this terribly, but actually, I don't think so, because in keeping Guehi away from the likes of Newcastle or Spurs, he since went on to captain the club to an FA Cup win and literally has them playing in Europe right now. And do you know what? I actually think he's going to sign off from Crystal... Actually, no. No, he could have signed off for Crystal Palace by winning the... Yeah, I was still in the mindset of, oh no, he's going to leave in a free agent this summer. No. He's joining Man City now. I thought he was going to sign off from Palace by winning them a European trophy. But he's literally looking at the Conference League and he doesn't give one hoot about that trophy. Because he knows it is about as prestigious as, I don't know, winning free sausage rolls at school. Like, it's such a nothing burger of a thing. But look, it's been such a saga. Who is he going to sign for? And look, all the talk was that he was distracted by Real Madrid and Barcelona wanting to lure him to Spain on a free this summer. But oh no, he's chucked all of that in a bin by following Semenyo from one mid-table club to Man City. As Man City right now are acting like they acted when they first got rich. In that they weren't signing glamours, superstars from across the continent. That will come later with the likes of David Silva, Yaya Toure, Balotelli. 2010 was the year they went mad, but this is City acting like 2009. When they went into Blackburn Rovers to take Rocky Santa Cruz, or took Craig Bellamy out of West Ham, or who else did they get? I was going to name one guy they got from Middlesbrough, but better not mention that because some people get cancelled. He got imprisoned, so let's not talk about him. But look, right now, it's what City are acting like. They're taking these mid-table players performing brilliantly and getting them in for a decent fee. Like 20 million is insane. It's a steal. And I think this could be their turning point in the title race. And actually, I say City are moving like 2009. It just occurred to me, yeah, this is very much like a 2009 deal when they brought in Nigel de Jong, paying way over the odds, paying 18 million pounds to take him out of Hamburg in January when he had 6 months left in his deal. I thought that was ludicrous because 18 million pounds was a lot of money. And it was like City were so impatient. They couldn't just wait until the summer when they'd be able to sign this guy, a decent defensive midfielder who, was dirtier than a bucket of mud. Seriously, I mean, Alonso probably still has stud marks on his chest. But, No, they paid a lot of money to take De Jong early because they were just so impatient and they had to have him now. And it's kind of like what they've done with Guehi, but except no, because 20 million pounds in 2026 is being so watered down, it's chump change. For City, it is literally like a fiver they found on the back of a couch. Like, it's 20 million pounds for someone who right now sits as England's best centre-back. And lads, I think him choosing City is actually a no-brainer move. Because yes, he was in the building at Liverpool back in the summer, okay, on deadline day, and he should be a red. Right now, he should be a red. The only reason he's not is because, what was it? Igor Julio left Brighton to join West Ham on loan, thinking he'd get more first-team football there than he would have had at Crystal Palace. Which looks like a really, really dumb decision because this Brazilian, I don't think he's played much for the Hammers at all, for a terrible West Ham. And, I mean, at Palace, they literally had European football. He could play Thursday nights at the very least. And also, let's not forget, Guehi was leaving. I mean, there would be a big, massive Guehi hole in the team, which Julio would have absolutely weaseled himself into. So him choose, literally, it's his fault. Right now, Liverpool fans are up in arms because, yes, they missed the boat on signing Guehi this month. And I'm kind of surprised why they haven't, considering Kanate has been wobblier than a teddy bear made out of candy floss. He's been really poor, and they've got no third choice centre-back right now. Unless you count Joe Gomez as an option, you really shouldn't. No, you really shouldn't. He's what, a 30-year-old defender who a lot of injury problems, and he's still waiting for his first goal. At 30. Yeah, it's like one of your mates tells you he's still waiting for his first kiss. Guy, you're 32. But look, Liverpool should blame themselves for not getting Guehi, but I mean, this is the second week of January, so he's been, that's 2 weeks you could have got him. You could have got out there on New Year's Day and signed him, considering you literally had him in a Liverpool jersey. I think he was doing photos. He'd undergone his medical on deadline day, and I literally just had to go back to Palace, because Palace couldn't get a replacement in time because Igor Hulu said no. So look, if Liverpool fans want to blame anyone, blame that guy. Blame that guy because he's the one who's ruined this move from happening. But look, I think it's a big transfer for City. I think this is really, really big because there's a massive hole in the Man City defense right now. There is. I mean, it's actually a crisis. It's probably worse than Liverpool's. Actually, it is. Because I don't see Liverpool having to recall some teenager from Watford and throwing him into their starting 11 for a Premier League match. That's what City had to do. Max Alleyne. Who is Max Alleyne? I don't even know if that's how you pronounce his second name. Probably not, because it sounds like the name of a female secretary. Maybe it's Max Alleyne or something cooler than Elaine. I'm sorry, but your mum might be called Elaine. If so, my salutations to her. Go make her a cup of tea, but it's up there with likes of Karen and Gertrude for me, and Bertha. Where am I going with this? Nowhere fast. But look, back to Guehi. I think this is a real gem of a signing, because right now, Man City have to shape up in their backline, because they're going. Look, I've been saying Man City can win the league for a few months now, but even I am having doubts. I'm having real doubts, because when you compare their makeshift backline with Arsenal's, it's no contest. Arsenal have a backline of giants. Like, Arsenal's back four is like what Tony Pulis put together at West Brom, except if those players were also good at football. Like, Pulis just had brutes at the back. Huge, gigantic orcs like Liam Ridgewell, Gareth McCauley, Jonas Olsen. Big, huge guys who wouldn't all fit together in the same elevator, but couldn't really kick a ball. But Arsenal, they've got like four mountains at the back, and they're all elite footballers too. So yeah, I think this is a really, really big signing for City. And for Guehi, I think it's a good choice. Okay, look, he was wanting to join the Champions of England in the summer. Liverpool looked like the Galacticos of the Premier League back in August, but that's kind of all melted around Arne Slot's ankles right now. So yeah, I don't blame Guehi for snubbing a move there. I mean, look, Liverpool are by far the bigger club and better fan base, everything. Look, that there's no contest, but so, I mean, literally, so what? I mean, take Jack Grealish, for example, okay? He could have gone to Manchester United. He could have gone to Manchester United from Aston Villa. I'm pretty sure they were sniffing around him, wanting to make him their new Beckham. He joined Man City, won everything. Literally won the treble. He'd be lucky to have won 2 consecutive matches in the Champions League in a row for United. But he goes to City, a smaller club on paper, sure, but a far more successful one right now. And yeah, I think it's a good move for the guy. Yeah, especially considering a couple of years it was just Newcastle and Spurs coming to the table. And look, I really wish the Magpies had got him over the line. Yeah, but I'm not. Sounded like a pigeon just flew into the window. But yeah, no, I'm also not crying. I'm not squealing about this, because Newcastle's backline right now is pretty good. Botman and Chow and even Burns at England's international, and then you've got, absolutely really quality up-and-coming fullbacks like Tiedemann Hall. I think it's really good. So it's not centre-back is not a weak position for Newcastle right now. So look, I'm not a salty little badger about this one, no. But Liverpool will be. I know they will. Liverpool fans will absolutely feel pretty rough about this, and I don't blame them, because you literally had him in your hands, and you should have gone back out there on New Year's Day and got it over the line. Why didn't you? I think it's because you probably got signals from Guehi that he no longer wanted to come. Look, he was probably pretty annoyed that his Liverpool dream was quenched in August, and he was all set to come. He was already dreaming about becoming an Anfield hero, and then he threw all out of the bed and concentrated on Palace again. So at least this is a fresh start. Okay, it's not like. Yeah, I think if he'd gone to Liverpool now, it would have been a bit messy, a bit protracted, a bit. He's sort of getting his Liverpool career off to a really muddy, messy start, in the fact that he almost signs for them, does his medical, and has to wait 6 months to play for them. But when he does play for them, it's during a really bad season where the manager's under pressure, and Salah's going to come back, so it's going to be that headache in the dressing room, and it's just a big mess. At least with City, it's a complete fresh start. But yeah, I mean, Liverpool must be annoyed because on paper this looks like both Semenyo and Guehi have said no to them to join Man City. I mean, look, I don't think Liverpool were really seriously in the hunt for Semenyo, but I think that was just paper talk. But yeah, this Guehi one, this is a big blow, and for City to get it for £20 million, I think it's an astonishing coup, and well done to them. Well done to them, because if I was Guehi, I would feel a bit insulted, a little bit, from Barcelona and Real Madrid. In fact, they were interested in him, but didn't want to have to pay any money for him. They were just trying to make him the next Trent or Rudiger. Just wait for him on a free. And, not all players like to be, treated that way. To be told to run down their contract and then, I guess we'll take you, but only if you cost less than a Terry's chocolate orange. But no, City went out there, they put up a £20 million paycheck, and they bagged the guy. And I think it's a really quality deal for City. I think it's a brilliant signing. I think City will need more, probably, to really make it a turning point in the title race. But I think it's definitely sewing up a problem position for them in the pitch. And I mean, for Guehi, this is an exciting move. I mean, unless, Man City get demoted by the FA to League 2 next year. But honestly, I think that court case is going to wrangle on and on and on and on and on and on and on. Until I'm, a 57-year-old old man who can no longer use the toilet on his own. So yeah, I think Guehi can come in, do 5 or 6 years at City, and I think we're probably still not going to have a verdict on that case for the 115 charges. So yeah, he can come in and soak up as many trophies as he wants, playing under a ridiculously good manager in Pep Guardiola. So I think it's a great move for him. If there's one team they should be kicking themselves, though, it's Chelsea. They had a choice whether to keep Trevor Chalobah or Marc Guehi back in 2022. They chose Chalobah, and okay, he's turned into a very decent centre-back. Even though it's kind of awkward, I mean, you also did try to freeze him out in the middle of that. And he went out on loan to Crystal Palace to play with Guehi, and only then scuttled his way back into the team. And, he's doing okay. He's doing pretty well in Chelsea's defence, but I mean, he's no Guehi. Like, you let Guehi leave. You let Guehi go to Crystal Palace for about 20 mil, and he's just turned into a monster. And I think at City, he's going to go on to prove himself to be the latest world-class English footballer. Generally, I think English players get overrated a lot, but there's also a dearth of centre-backs out there, like elite ones. I don't know if dearth, I don't actually know what dearth means. That could mean a shortage for all I know. No, I hope it means a shortage, because that's what I mean. There is a shortage of absolute elite centre-backs out there right now. It's very easy to look good as a centre-back these days, because there's no Nestas, Terrys, Cannavaros, Rios. People still say the best one in the world right now is Van Dijk, and he has passed this. Not completely past it, but he's on the way down. He's like, 35 nearly? I do think the best in the world is Saliba right now, to be honest. But no, I think there's a real lack of real top quality centre-backs out there. So I think Guehi, I think he goes to City, and I think we all look at him as being a world-class footballer. And I think it's a great deal for City. But for Liverpool, must be pretty annoying. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Don't worry, Premier League predictions are coming tomorrow, but just thought I'd come on and ramble about that. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, share, please. I'll waffle you a while.